You know that feeling when someone just gets you? That electric, uncertain, can't stop thinking about them feeling? Well, research says that feeling is one of the least reliable signals of compatibility that exists, and most people are building their entire love life around it. Let me show you why. Attachment theory has been studied for over 5 decades. The core finding is simple. The way you were cared for as a child becomes the emotional blueprint you carry into every relationship as an adult. How you love, who you're drawn to, what feels like home. There are 3 main attachment styles. First, being secure. About 56% of adults. These are people who feel comfortable with intimacy, don't panic when things get uncertain, and can communicate what they need without it becoming a crisis. The second, being anxious. About 20%. These are people who crave closeness but constantly fear losing it. They read into everything, they need reassurance, and when they don't get it, the spiral starts. Lastly, avoidant. About 20% as well. These are people who value independence to the point where real intimacy feels threatening. They pull back when things get close. They get cold when someone needs too much. If you're finding this helpful or you learned anything useful, please hit the like and subscribe button. It's a small thing for you, but it really helps the channel. Now, let's get back to it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. A study of 44,000 dating app users found that 45% showed anxious attachment. That's more than double the rate in the general population. The people who are most afraid of losing love are the most active users of dating apps, and they report the worst experiences on them. But that's not the most alarming finding. The most common relationship pairing across decades of research is anxious with avoidant. The anxious partner pursues, the avoidant partner withdraws, the pursuit triggers more withdrawal, the withdrawal triggers more pursuit. Both people end up miserable. Neither fully understands why. And yet, the chemistry between these 2 types of people often are the most intense either of them has ever felt. Because your nervous system isn't looking for what's good for you, it's looking for what's familiar. So, why does familiar feel like chemistry? Because your nervous system doesn't distinguish between what's good for you and what it recognizes. It just flags recognition as safety. And safety feels like home, even when home was painful. So, when you meet someone who activates that familiar dynamic, the uncertainty, the hot and cold, the feeling of constantly trying to earn something, your brain lights up. It knows this feeling. It mistakes that knowing for connection. And then something unexpected happens. The person who shows up constantly, who texts us when they say they will, who makes you feel secure, who doesn't make you guess, feels flat, boring, like something is missing. But nothing is missing. You're just not used to the feeling of safety. Research confirms this directly. Secure partners often feel less exciting in early dating, not because they are less interesting, but because they're not activating your anxiety. And if you spend years mistaking anxiety for excitement, calm starts to feel like the absence of something rather than the presence of everything. The anxious avoidant pairing produces some of the most intense early chemistry of any relationship combination. It also correlates to 2.5 times higher breakup rates. That electric feeling you have been chasing, it's been working against you. I've been coaching people on relationships and life direction for over a decade. And this is the pattern I see more than any other. Not just in dating, in long-term relationships, in marriages, in people who have done years of work on themselves and still can't figure out why they keep ending up in the same place. It's not a character flaw. It's not a lack of self-awareness. It's one of the most powerful forces in human psychology, operating largely below the level of conscious thought. What I tell my clients is this: the goal isn't to stop feeling the pull toward intensity. The goal is to notice it and pause before you follow it. Not forever, just long enough. 3 seconds. That's all it takes for your brain to shift from reacting emotionally to actually thinking. Count down mentally. 3, 2, 1. And in that space, ask yourself one question. Is this person making me feel excited, or are they making me feel anxious? Because these two feelings live in the same part of your body. Same racing heart, same inability to think straight, same obsessive replaying of the last conversation. But they're not the same thing. And the difference between them is everything. The person who is right for you might not feel like fireworks at the start. They might feel quieter, steadier, less urgent. But if you sit with it long enough, you might realize that steady is exactly what you have been looking for. You just never gave it long enough to find out. The pattern isn't permanent. You're not broken. You're not unlucky. You're running an old program on new people, and programs can be updated. It starts with recognizing what's actually happening underneath the feeling, underneath the chemistry, underneath the story you have been telling yourself about why it keeps not working out. That's the work, and it's worth doing. Free guide in the description. 8 chapters, no email required. And if you want to be part of what I'm building, claim your spot. Link is in the description. See you in the next one.